Are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Hello, America. I am with our 7th place, not winner, person from BB18 Unfinished Business, Michaelin. This is Houston, they had a problem. So Michaelin, what was your problem? What happened?
I think my problem was, on my original season, I got with 4 people. I stuck with 4 people. When it was the final 4, it was us 4 people. I think I was a little naive to think that I could make that happen again in my favor, even though we started off great. To be totally honest, my problem started with Dylan because we had a misunderstanding that we didn't know where the vote was going because we had a conversation where there were 5 people, which would have been a tie. It was between sending Jessica or Grace home. And we had 5 people in a room, and we all said, cool, we all good? And he either didn't say anything or didn't say, I need to talk to someone, I'm not sure, I'm on the fence. And so we thought we had the 5 and 5, and Mac was gonna send Jessica home, who at the time was not working with us, and Grace was. And that started this whole shitstorm of Dylan hating me or whatever. So that's where my problem started.
Okay. So you were trying to just do the same strategy as last game, correct?
Yeah.
So if you could go back and change your strategy, knowing that that same strategy wouldn't work, what do you think you would do differently?
So I think comparably both times I stuck with a smaller group of people because I don't like big alliances. So I stuck with a smaller group of people to try to just control it. And on my original season it worked because we were winning a lot more than the group of people that I surrounded myself with this time really was. And I think not branching out and speaking to like Christian and Dee Dee more was to my detriment. And if I could change one thing, I would go back and talk to them earlier and a little bit more often. I would talk to Brody more often too. Like we had a rapport where we would tell each other if anyone said our names, but I didn't even have that really with Christian or Dee Dee, and so I probably should have done that because originally I wanted to work with Dee Dee, but other people got to her first, and I didn't want to be in a huge alliance where I'm a lower number. So I risked it by being in a smaller place where I knew I was at the top.
So I wanted to ask you this. A lot of people, whenever they have a really tight alliance one game, will try and distance themselves from that same person the next game so that, because a lot of times whenever people know that 2 people are close, they'll be like, well, we gotta break them up. So was there any reason that you and Ryan decided to just stick together again?
Yeah, I think we just had this underlying understanding that we would look out for each other. I think originally, obviously we didn't know he was playing until about 5 minutes before he showed up, but I will always have Ryan's back in a game, just because I respect him and his gameplay. I think I would have rathered us have a little more low-key relationship than we did. And sometimes Ryan likes to be like honest with people, and then it becomes someone else's detriment. So he was honest in the fact that he was working with me, but I don't think everyone needed to know that we were working together, though we were.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed coming back with Ryan because as an All-Stars cast, I would expect people to take past games into consideration in their mind, but not play based on past games.
Yeah.
So I appreciate him being honest and like that we worked together and him sticking by that the whole time. But I think if we would have been a little bit more low key, then people calling us a power couple maybe wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
Alright. So this is a space-themed Big Brother. I don't know if you caught on to that.
Oh no, never.
But I have some fun little space questions to ask you if you're ready.
Absolutely.
So I want to know which planet you are and why.
I am Jupiter. Jupiter is my favorite planet. I feel like it has a lot of different, I want to say rings, but I mean lines, you know what I mean? Like a lot of different colors. I feel like I have a lot of different personality traits that are really awesome and rad. And like a lot of different things that I'm into, there's good. And there's that big eye, and I feel like I usually have, except for maybe in this game of Big Brother, I usually have a really good like read on people.
So what is one space object, like a shooting star or like a black hole, that you would use to describe your game today?
Okay. You know those kind of like thicker comets that are going, and then all of a sudden they kind of go up and then they kind of like fuzz back a little bit. I was definitely like, I am a comet, and everything was going great. And then when James went home, I was like, oh no. And then Mac went home and I was like, oh no. And then we went, and then I got that surprise veto. I feel like that was my boom, like back into life for a minute, and then I was just gonna be gone from there. So to evaporate, to come back again.
All right. Now we probably know the answer to this question, America, but I have to ask it. If you could take one of your housemates to space with you, who would it be?
I take Ryan to space, but, well, that's just because I love Ryan. He's great and we're friends. But if I didn't take Ryan, I'd take Logan because he's fun and new, and it's like Ryan 2.0.
So, I want to know who you think is causing the most drama in the game right now.
The most drama that's still in?
Or just in general, who caused the most drama today?
I think that causing the most personal drama for me was probably Dylan. Because when I confronted him about the whole misunderstanding we had with this vote, it like started him when he was HOH, he was like, yep, you. And then when he got it again, he was like, also you. So I think that caused the most personal drama for me. I think causing the most concealable drama is probably Christian.
Okay.
I think he's doing really well at saying things to the right people to garner them on his side for at least the current round, and it was obviously good enough where I wasn't even ever needed to be approached by him because he had numbers on his side. So I think he did a great job with that, but he's probably the most like ongoing little drama because I feel like he's had his hand in everything.
Yeah.
So that just makes you dramatic.
That makes sense. So at this point, at 10 p.m. on this Saturday night, who do you think is going to win Big Brother 18?
I think if we're gonna base it on like performance and challenge wins, probably Christian or Brody. Personally, I would like to see Brody win for the upfront game that he played with me. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but that's where I'm hoping it kind of ends up because I can justify him. It's harder for me to justify the others at this point.
Yeah. All right. And now I want to know that if it were up to Michaelin, who would be the next person evicted from Big Brother 18?
I'm gonna say Christian, only because he said that we didn't talk. I know talking is a two-way street, but he said we didn't talk, but he also never came up to me, and I knew I was going home when he came up to me, and he was like, hey, and I was like, all right, and we're talking to me, so it's me. So, yeah, let's just be petty and say that.
All right. I have one more question for you, and it's a really important one that you can't mess up. So I want to know which space icon are you. So for example, you can be the star in Star Wars, the star in Star Trek, the star in A Star Is Born. Let me know.
Do you remember when Xenon Z3 came out and they had that really special episode where there were Z's everywhere and you had to count, and when you got them you unlocked a game on DisneyChannel.com. Xenon was my icon. So I would be one of the stars that had the Z on it because it was everywhere and it was in different colors and it seemed to be like it knew it when everything was happening. So I love that.
Good answer. All right, America. This has been another episode of Houston. They had a problem with Michaelin McGinnis. Will you please strike a pose with me on 3?
Absolutely.
1, 2, 3. See you next time.